people give you a hard time about it, that's just mean, don't you think so? That's literally just like shove the kid who doesn't have enough lunch money into the locker because they're a loser energy. That's more embarrassing for them. Like, are you not embarrassed? Hey everyone, it's Sunny. I'm taking a break from watching Singles Inferno to film this video. On my Instagram, I asked people to send me questions because it was my 1-year booktube anniversary. It's very exciting. I uploaded my first video on January 2nd, so this video is late, is the moral of that story. A lot of people had questions about starting a booktube channel, things of that nature. So I wanted to make this video, not because I think that I'm an expert. I'm not. I literally consider myself to be a booktube baby still. I have no clue what I'm doing. But in this video, I'm going to talk about all of the things that I wish people had told me 1 year ago. Or I wish that someone had talked about this. Again, I've only been doing this for a year, which means that I'm actually a fetus, like I'm still in the womb. Over the past year, I've kept a running document on my notes app, which, surprise surprise, I have like a running document on my notes app for every single thing in my entire life of random reflections that I would have anytime that I would come to some kind of like realization or like something that I was like, why did no one talk about this? I would put it into that notes doc, and then I've compiled all of that in order to make this video. And then in the end, I'm going to answer like specific questions so that you guys ask me. The main question that I get is like, what's your biggest tip or piece of advice for someone who is thinking about starting a booktube channel? If you don't take anything else away from this video, just take this away from this video. Booktube is a time game. This is the biggest thing that I've learned this past year. Booktube is a time game. The sooner you start, the better. And I'm gonna explain this. If you're thinking about it, you're probably gonna end up doing it, okay? At some point in your life, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever, you're gonna end up doing it, okay? And then you're gonna regret the time that you wasted just thinking about doing it, because booktube is a time game. But I know, it's scary. Other people have also asked me, is it scary? Yes, it's the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. My biggest tip is to do this. Just go, make an account, create the channel, and you don't have to upload anything. If you don't upload anything, no one's gonna find your channel. You're gonna be a ghost. Just make your channel. You can just sit there and you don't have to tell anyone. You're the only one who knows that that channel exists, even though there's nothing on it. And then it's no harm, no foul, right? If you don't end up doing it, it's whatever. If you don't end up doing it, it's whatever. I guarantee you that by just doing that will give you the courage that you need to actually upload your first video. The reason for that is because now that you have this channel, you can start like going on Canva and creating your header, thinking of your channel name. It's gonna start actually putting thoughts in your head about what videos you would want to make, you know, having fun, like joining the booktube community. I want to emphasize the point that you literally don't have to tell anyone that you created this channel, but you might have this weird feeling of like, this weird like guilt feeling or something. The only exception, if you are a minor, if you're under 18 and you start uploading videos, then for your safety, since you are part of a vulnerable population, tell at least one guardian that you're doing this just so that you're staying safe. But you don't even need to tell your siblings. Like, you don't need to tell me why did I start and what pushed me to start. Of course, I've been watching booktube since time, so I've like known about the community back when like Whole Banana Books, Sasha, Alsberg, like they were the biggest booktubers. What actually pushed me to start was in quarantine. During quarantine, I would read and then I would FaceTime my friends and I would like do exactly this to her, like exactly what I do in my videos. I would just talk about the books that I'm reading to her, even though she reads none of the books that I like to read. But since she's an angel, she would like listen to me anyway. And then she would be the one to say like, man, you need to start a booktube channel. And then I would ironically be like, yeah. And then that's when the indoctrination began. That's when the seed was planted. During quarantine, I ended up making a second Instagram that was like a studygram. That studygram inevitably started turning into a bookstagram, studygram hybrid. And then after I read These Violent Delights, I made, I'll put it here because I still have it, posted a book review post on it. And I ran out of character space in the caption. I was like, what now? Literally that night, 2 a.m, I remember it. And I remember that fight 2:30. Literally at 2 a.m, I remember this so clearly. I was lying in bed. I got up on my laptop. I created my channel. I was like not in my right mind. I was really tired. Didn't do anything on it. I woke up the next morning and I filmed, edited, and uploaded my first video. And the rest is history. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the thing that's probably the biggest challenge to starting booktube in my opinion. Being too scared to start is honestly the biggest hurdle that you're gonna face. And it's really hard to overcome that fear. I'm gonna tell you all the practical things that I did, things that I wish someone had told me, otherwise I would have started this a lot sooner. Okay, so I could think of 4 main reasons why you might be scared to start your channel. The first one is that you're embarrassed of people finding your channel in your real life and then seeing how awkward and uncomfortable you are on camera, and then them thinking that it's cringy, okay? Which is so valid. Literally what I struggle with the most. This is why I keep saying that booktube is a time game. People in your real life, if they do end up finding your channel, if they're even interested enough to like explore your channel, they will probably only watch the most recent 1 1, 2, 3 max videos that are on your channel, right? They're the first 3 that show up when you go to a person's channel. That means you want to try getting your like most recent 3 videos to a point where you feel comfortable and are happy with the way that you present yourself on camera. I guarantee you that you are going to get to that point. It might feel really far away, and it might not be, but the moral of the story is that the sooner you start, the better. Talking in front of camera, such a different ball game, okay? Let me tell you that as someone who presents very extroverted. I'm told by everyone in my life that I'm super social, really friendly, and very easy to talk to. I had the hardest time. Everyone is awkward. Every single person is awkward. It's gonna be a struggle bus in the first bit, but you're gonna keep going, and then suddenly at a certain point, you're going to like ascend. You're gonna be like Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, and like you're gonna be fine. I don't know why I brought up Interstellar just now. I just hurt my own feelings. It doesn't look like it when you look at your favorite booktubers, right? It's because they've been doing this for a long time. Booktube is a time game. The only way that you get better is through experience, and through experience, you're guaranteed to get better. AKA, the earlier you start, the more videos you can make. The more videos you make, the better you will get in front of a camera. The better you get in front of a camera, the more comfortable you will be with presenting yourself on camera. And your recent 3 videos that people find on your channel, you won't be embarrassed, you won't be cringe. Case in point, watch any single one of my videos. You can literally see me becoming more comfortable as the video goes on, literally within a single video. If you compare the first 2 seconds to like the last 10 seconds or just anywhere in the middle of the video, there's like noticeably a difference in how comfortable I am talking to the camera. I'm taking a break from watching Singles Inferno to film this video. If people give you a hard time about it, that's just mean, don't you think so? In one single video, you can see the change. And that's why in front of my videos, I always insert a clip somewhere in the middle of the video. Otherwise, I want to cry and throw up watching myself in the intro. Practical tips: find booktubers that have those videos where they're reacting to like their first video. You know those videos? I'll have some linked in the description for you. Those videos of people reacting to like when they first started in booktube, that's gonna help you really realize that everybody starts out somewhere. But speaking as someone who still like the sheer terror of like people finding your it's a terror you've never felt in your entire life. It's crazy, it's crazy. Like I said, I keep my channel a secret, which is so valid. Here's what I do that makes me feel better. I actively live in denial about the fact that people in my real life might watch my video. In my mind, in the Sunny Kim cinematic universe, I am the only one who knows that my channel exists. Someone messages me and they tell me that I found my channel. I just like live in denial. I hear it and then I choose to like erase it, and then I just like fake it till I make it, pretend that no one has found my channel, because that's like the only way that I can like keep making videos. Otherwise I get too scared. Okay, next reason: you're embarrassed about your content. The fact that you have a booktube channel specifically. This is something that I struggled with a lot inherently, because I'm someone who spent my whole life like keeping my love of books a secret from people. That is like a whole other can of worms. Again, this embarrassment will go away with time. Why do I think this? Having a booktube channel is literally a recipe for improving your confidence and pride in loving books. Let me explain what I mean. Booktube is a community that enables everybody's love for reading. It's like Narnia, okay? People aren't just gonna like randomly happen upon it. You have to train your YouTube algorithm to get you into this booktube community. So everyone on here also loves books. I wouldn't worry about people finding your videos and giving you a hard time and making you feel embarrassed about the fact that you like books, because that's bookworm on bookworm crime. That's literally friendly fire. It makes no sense. And the other thing is that you get instant gratification when you upload a video and you get views, comments, subscribers. That's like instant positive reinforcement, and it's going to improve your confidence. Of course, there's moments when you're still feeling insecure. When I feel that way, I actively think something that Steph Bowler says, one of my favorite booktubers. She says, if you're gonna be passionate about something, be passionate about it loudly. And then if someone else is embarrassed about you being passionate about that thing, that's more embarrassing for them. Okay, next, you're embarrassed about creating a YouTube channel and then it flopping. And then people will see that and then think that that's pathetic, or like, just like look down on you. Again, very real fear, very super valid. My number one tip here is the fact that you don't need to tell anyone. You literally don't owe it to anyone. You can literally keep it a secret, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Again, barring if you're a minor. If you post one video and then decide to delete your channel and not do anything with it again, literally who cares? No one cares. No harm, no foul. My other thing will be really have the expect nothing, appreciate everything mentality. I created my channel, like I said, in the dead of night and told no one about it. I didn't make this channel thinking that it was going to like turn into anything more than like 60 people. I still have that mentality. That mentality helps with consistency and motivation. If you expect nothing, every single time that you do get some kind of reward, a subscriber, a comment, a like, something, you have reasons to keep going instead of expecting something, being disappointed, and then that being a reason that you're discouraged. If you expect nothing, there's only ever going to be reasons to keep going. You know what I mean? If you have that mentality and treat your channel like very casually, like, then no one can say anything. Literally no one can say anything to you. The final reason I thought of was being scared or feeling not validated to make a channel because of personal or identity related factors. Let me explain. I felt like not valid enough to create a channel because I wasn't seeing a lot of booktubers who were similar to me. I made a list. The main things that were holding me back were my race, age, equipment, nationality, college student status. My main tip for this, and something that I still do right now, which is also related to a question that I received, which was which booktubers inspired you? Literally like a recipe book, like a jigsaw puzzle. I designated different booktubers I would binge watch in order to validate myself about specific parts of my identity. In my mind, I would like meld all of them together in order to like validate myself as a person. In terms of race, I would turn to With Cindy and then Books with Chloe. In terms of age and college status, I would binge watch Pages of Haley and Steph Bohr. For nationality, since I'm Canadian, I would go to The Story Ain't Over and Haley in Bookland. And then in terms of equipment, since I didn't have any equipment, I turned to With Cindy, Pages of Haley, and Steph Bohr because all of them started out on their phone like filming. Okay, now here's a bonus fifth reason that I feel like is honestly such a struggle bus, but I'm just gonna say it right now because everybody needs to hear it. You will get over the way that you look. You will get over the way that you talk. You will get over the sound of your voice. I promise that you're gonna get over it. Just start. Just put your content out there. In fact, being booktube videos will probably help you become more confident in the way that you look and the sound of your voice and the way that you speak. Why? Because of the mere exposure effect. If you don't know what that is, it's a psychological effect where like the more times that you're merely exposed to something, the more attractive it will become. I genuinely don't know how I look. I make videos and I edit those videos, which means that I'm just staring at myself and listening to myself talk for hours on end. But I genuinely don't know how I look anymore to any other people. My point is that don't let that be the reason that stops you because you're gonna get over it. Okay, now let's get to actually starting out. It's normal and completely okay to change your mind about literally everything about your channel all of the time. The feminine urge to just change everything about your channel, okay? It's real. I'm here to validate you and say that that's completely normal and that's completely okay. Your video persona, your editing style, your thumbnail style, what kind of videos you want to make, your channel name, your branding, your aesthetic, you're gonna want to change it every single second. It's fine, do it. I personally don't think that there's anything wrong with that, and I also don't think that you owe anyone an explanation when you do it. Especially at the beginning, it's probably the best time. Literally go ham at the beginning because that's when there's like the least external expectation on you. You're not gonna experience a time like that again. Next tip, talk about the things that you genuinely love the most because that's going to translate the best through the screen. When you have genuine excitement about the things that you are talking about, you don't need to fake it, and then you're not gonna be as awkward on camera. Next is that there isn't a numerical threshold on your channel that means that it's ever legit enough or good enough. You're never gonna reach it. It's just gonna keep increasing. Yeah, there's just no point. Intros are the most stressful part about filming a video. To this day, I restart my videos like 8 times. My intro where I just say, hey everyone, it's Sunny, the most stressful part about filming. Next is about YouTube analytics, okay? Things that I wish people told me about YouTube analytics. People don't watch for a long time. Your video retention, and that's completely normal. The first time that I discovered this, like, it genuinely hurt my feelings, okay? I want to save you the pain. I promise you it's normal. Next, every single time that you upload a new video, it automatically ranks it from 1 to 10 on how well it's doing at a specific time based on your previous upload. Remember that no one has access to these analytics except for you. I would get weirdly like embarrassed or something if a video was doing badly in comparison to my other videos, and I realized like no one outside of yourself will ever remember how your other videos did at a certain time point. No one knows this information except for you. The first 500 subscribers is probably going to be the biggest struggle bus you experience. The first 500 subscribers, I feel like you are building your baseline viewership. So like I said, booktube is a time game. The sooner you start, the better, because you're gonna grow. You know what I mean? If you keep uploading videos, you're gonna grow. It's inevitable. Just a time game. The sooner you start, the better. When you have that baseline viewership and they're like watching your videos consistently, then YouTube can recommend it to more people, and then you're going to be able to grow easier from that. So your first 500 viewership, the amount of growth that you have on there, I promise it's like not a reflection about you or your quality of your videos. It's just the way that having a channel works. You need to get a baseline viewership, and that's the hardest part. And then also put aside a good hour for literally just the act of getting your edited final video and then like putting it on your channel, uploading, and then processing, and then checking time that YouTube Studio does. Takes forever, okay? Put aside a good hour for that. Those are all of like the random reflections that I had that I wanted to share. Now let's get into questions. Okay, like I said, most frequent question was biggest tip or advice. I'll emphasize it again. Booktube is a time game, so the sooner you start, the better. Just create your channel. You don't need to upload anything. Just create your channel. Another thing is also to show your personality as much as you can in your videos so that your energy is gonna be what brings people back to your channel, and then you don't need to stress out too much about content, if that makes sense. You're the content, if that makes sense. That sounds so conceited. But related to another question, which is it stressful to come up with new ideas, or do you just film what you want to film? It's a lot less stressful if you make your personality and energy the biggest part of your channel, and then I feel like it puts less pressure on you. Next is how did I learn to edit, and then also like what editing programs and stuff I use. Baptism by fire. I didn't really learn to edit. Booktube doesn't need to be expensive, by the way. I film on my phone, which is an iPhone 8. I used to edit on iMovie because it's free. iMovie works great. Now I edit through an app called LumaFusion on my iPad because my computer doesn't have a lot of memory, which is why I needed to move to my iPad. The other thing is all you need is good lighting, aka you need natural lighting. You can literally film on like a calculator, okay? It will look fine if you have the sunlight. Film in front of a window. How did people around you read when you first started your channel? People around me, if they discovered that I had a channel, which were all because of either necessity or slip-ups, or YouTube recommended me to them. I really don't tell people. Everyone was only ever supportive. I didn't expect anything else. I think that I would then reassess the type of people that I choose to be in my life if people were ever mean to me about it. If people give you a hard time about it, that's just mean. Don't you think so? That's literally just like shove the kid who doesn't have enough lunch money into the locker because they're a loser energy. Like, that's just mean. Why would, you know what I mean? Like, Steph Bohr is right. Like, that's more embarrassing for them. Like, are you not 𝐬𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵? So yeah, people were only ever supportive. I imagine that people were surprised because, like I said, no one knows that I like to read, so it's probably out of pocket for me to have a channel that's just completely about that. Yeah, and also everyone's been super respectful when I asked them to maintain the privacy of my channel, which I appreciate a lot. What has been a challenge that you didn't think you would have when you started the channel? I don't have a storage space. That's probably the biggest challenge that I have right now. It's hard for me to bulk film or film multiple videos at a time because I don't have enough memory. Finding the time to film is hard because I feel awkward filming when I know like my roommates can hear me. Oh wait, sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. What? Oh my god. One of the booktubers that I'm like a really big fan of just commented on my video. Crying and throwing up right now. 진정해. Okay, the next question that I got a lot is how do I manage school and YouTube / how do I post so much / how do I stay consistent? A lot of difficulty. Booktube is something that I prioritize in my life because it's the most fun thing that I do. So compared to other things in my life, it's not hard to like make myself maintain my channel. And in terms of consistency, I schedule all of my videos. If I post twice a week, then Wednesday and Sunday at 12 p.m. That's how I post consistently. So if I have a lot of videos, then I'll just like space it out like that, and then I don't need to worry or think about it. Also, this is not me tooting my own horn or anything like that, but I've always had good work ethic, and I'm someone who is like the opposite of a procrastinator. I'm already stressed. Procrastination stresses me out even more. In my head, it's like not an option. When class is in session, I only upload once a week, and even that's hard to manage sometimes. Recently, I'm on winter break right now, and in that case, then it's manageable to upload twice a week, so that's what I do. Like I said, booktube shouldn't be stressful. It's just something that I do for fun. Okay, people also asked if I got any hate comments or how I deal with hate comments. No, I've never gotten hate comments before. I don't consider them hate comments. I think the most that I've received is people being angry about the fact that I didn't love the Song of Achilles, or other things where people just like disagree with my opinion on books. That just means that we have differing opinions, which has nothing to do with me or you like at all as people. But if there are any mean comments, I'll probably just delete them and then out of sight, out of mind. Okay, the biggest learning curve, speaking naturally to the camera, and then also designing your thumbnail. I feel like that is also something that just gets better with time. How long do I plan on doing YouTube for? I honestly haven't thought about that, but I don't really plan on having a set date or age to end. I think what I like about booktube is that it doesn't really have a shelf life. Okay, and then someone also asked biggest pet peeve on booktube. This isn't really a pet peeve, but something that I noticed and I feel like it could become like negative or positive is that booktube, in comparison to other communities, I feel like there's a stronger emphasis on growth and like numbers. People will keep a close eye on numbers for other channels as well, and then like congratulate other like smaller creators and stuff like that. There's just like a culture around that in this community, something that I've noticed. And I think that the reason for that, okay, I think that there's two reasons for that. I think that the first reason is because booktube as a growing community is relatively recent in comparison to other spaces on YouTube, like comedy or like reaction videos or like college YouTube and stuff like that. And the second reason I think is because there's like a stronger divide between quote-unquote smaller creators and like big creators, like the small booktube community and like the big booktube community, I guess. And so I feel like people keep an eye on whether or not you're a small or big booktuber, so I feel like there's just like a stronger emphasis on numbers and growth in that way. My friend just FaceTimed me and I had to like reject her call. But that is everything that I wanted to say. If you watch until the end of this video, I want to take this opportunity to tell you, feel free to use the comment space down below to like introduce yourself and your channel, and you can maybe meet other people that way. Yeah, if you're like me and like scared to shoot your shot and like kind of a shy girl like on the internet, then this is like the active invitation for you to do that. Okay, I think that that's everything for this video. I'm sorry if I was rambling a lot. There's just like a lot that I want to say. I'm a very self-reflective person and there's honestly a lot more that I could say. So feel free to message me on Instagram at sunnykimreads if you want to like just talk more about this. But yeah, thank you so much for one wonderful year on booktube. This is honestly one of the best experiences that I've had in my life. I've learned a lot. Be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at sunnykimreads, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.